poor boy stood in a school hallway. Laughter crushed him every single day. They tore his books. They crushed his pride. They thought he would disappear forever. 10 years later, the same men stood trembling in his office. Their voices shook. Their hands begged. They needed the boy they once destroyed, but they had no idea. This time, he controlled their fate, and what he decided next would make them regret every laugh they ever shared. The bell rang with a cracked metallic scream. It echoed through the narrow hallway like a warning. The floor smelled of dust and old cleaning water. Shoes scraped, lockers rattled. A thin boy stood near the wall, holding his bag close to his chest. His name was Adam. His shirt was clean but faded. The fabric clung to his skin from nervous sweat. He kept his eyes low. He always kept his eyes low. Footsteps approached, heavy, confident, laughing. The sound tightened his chest. A hand slammed against the locker beside his head. The metal vibrated. The noise rang inside his skull. Adam flinched. The smell of cheap cologne mixed with rust filled the air. A voice laughed inches from his ear, loud, cruel, familiar. Someone grabbed his bag strap. The weight pulled his shoulder down. Books spilled across the floor. Paper slid like fallen feathers. Laughter followed. It always followed. Adam knelt to pick up his books. His fingers shook. A shoe stepped on one notebook. The cover bent. The pages tore with a dry, ripping sound. That sound stayed with him for years. A voice asked him why he even came to school. Another voice said he smelled poor. Another voice said he would never be anything. The hallway felt smaller. The lights flickered. Adam tasted metal in his mouth. He swallowed hard. He said nothing. Silence was his shield. The bell rang again. The footsteps left. Laughter faded. The hallway emptied. Adam stayed on the floor a moment longer. His knees hurt. His hands were dirty. His eyes burned. He stood slowly. He stood slowly. He placed the torn notebook back into his bag. He walked to class. That was one day. There were hundreds like it. Every morning brought the same dread. Every hallway felt hostile. Every laugh felt aimed at his back. Teachers rarely noticed. When they did, they looked tired. Adam learned to disappear. He sat in the back. He kept his voice low. He ate lunch alone. The cafeteria smelled of grease and noise. Trays slammed. Chairs scraped. He sat near the trash bins. That place felt right to others. At home, his room was quiet. The walls were thin. His mother worked late. The lights flickered there too. Adam studied under a weak bulb. Books were his escape. Words did not laugh at him. Numbers did not push him. He learned fast, very fast. Pain sharpened his focus. Each insult became fuel. Each shove became a reminder. He promised himself something one night. The rain hit the window hard. Thunder rolled low. He whispered the promise into the dark. He would never beg. He would never be small again. Years passed. The school changed. The bullies grew older. Some left town. Some stayed the same. Adam left with nothing but a bag and resolve. College halls smelled different. Clean, quiet, respectful. No one knew his past. No one laughed. He studied harder than anyone. Sleep became optional. Failure felt impossible. His hands still shook sometimes. He learned to steady them. He learned control. 10 years passed. The city skyline glowed with glass and steel. Rain slid down tall windows. A man stood in a high office. The floor was polished stone. The air smelled of coffee and quiet power. Adam stood straight. His suit fit perfectly. His voice carried weight now. Screens showed numbers moving fast. Deals closed. Phones rang. People listened when he spoke. Outside, the city pulsed. Inside, everything was calm until the knock came. Soft, hesitant. The door opened slowly. A man stepped in. His shoulders were hunched. His hairline had receded. His suit was worn. His eyes scanned the room nervously. Adam looked up. Recognition struck like ice water. The voice from the hallway, the laughter, the shoe on the notebook. The past rushed forward. The man swallowed. He said Adam's name. His voice cracked. Another man entered behind him, then another. 3 faces from the past, older, worn, uneasy. The room felt smaller again. The air felt thick. Adam felt the old tightening in his chest, but it did not control him now. They stood in front of his desk. Hands clasped, eyes down. One cleared his throat. He spoke about business trouble, about debt, about desperation. Another mentioned knowing Adam from before. His voice shook. The third avoided eye contact. Silence filled the room. It stretched. It pressed. Adam stood up slowly. The chair slid back with a controlled sound. The The men flinched. Adam walked to the window. Rain streaked the glass. Cars moved far below like insects. He remembered kneeling on cold tile. He remembered torn paper. He remembered laughter. He turned back. The men looked smaller now. One step forward. His face was pale. He asked for help. The word hung heavy in the air. Begging followed. Apologies spilled out. Clumsy, late, desperate. Adam listened. Every sound was sharp, every breath loud. The hum of the building filled the silence. His heart beat steady. He felt something shift inside him. Not joy, not anger, something colder, something heavier. He spoke calmly. His voice did not shake. He asked them to sit. They obeyed quickly. Leather chairs creaked under their weight. Sweat darkened collars. Adam leaned forward slightly, his eyes locked onto theirs. He asked them if they remembered the hallway, the lockers, the notebook. The men stiffened. One nodded slowly, another closed his eyes, the third swallowed hard. The room felt tense. The lights buzzed softly overhead. Adam described the smell of rust, the sound of tearing paper, the feeling of being invisible. Each word landed heavy. The men shifted in their seats. One wiped his forehead. Adam paused, not for effect, for control. He told them he never forgot. He told them pain taught him discipline. He told them fear taught him patience. Their faces dreamed of color. One whispered his name again, this time softer, lower. Adam walked back to his desk. He picked up a folder. He opened it slowly. Pages rustled. Numbers stared back. He looked at them one by one. Outside, thunder rolled faintly. The storm had returned. Adam felt the old promise echo inside him. Never beg, never be small. He spoke again. His words were measured, careful, sharp. He said help always came with a price. The men leaned forward. Hope flickered in their eyes. Adam closed the folder gently. The sound was final. He told them to listen carefully. The room went silent. Even the hum seemed to fade. Adam took a breath, the kind he never had as a boy. And as he began to explain what helping them would truly require, the lights outside the window flickered. The thunder grew louder. And the men slowly realized that the balance of power had shifted far more than they ever imagined. As Adam continued speaking, his voice steady, his gaze unbroken, and the weight of the past pressing down on all of them as the storm outside intensified and the tension inside the room tightened further, pulling everyone toward a moment none of them could step away from anymore. The room felt colder as Adam continued speaking. His words moved slowly. Each sentence carried weight. He explained conditions, strict ones. The men exchanged quick glances. Hope trembled between them. Adam described timelines, numbers, responsibilities, consequences. Their breathing grew shallow. One man clenched his hands together. Knuckles turned. Adam leaned back slightly. The leather chair did not creak this time. He asked them if they understood pressure, real pressure, the kind that followed you home, the kind sat on your chest at night. They nodded quickly, too quickly. Adam stood again. He walked behind them. His footsteps were slow, measured. The sound echoed across the stone floor. One man stiffened as Adam passed. Adam stopped behind the tallest one. He spoke close to his ear. His voice remained calm. He asked if fear still felt funny. The man swallowed hard. No answer came. Adam returned to his desk. He picked up a pen. The click sounded loud in the silence. Outside, rain slammed harder against the glass. Lightning flashed. The room lit white for a second. Their faces looked hollow in that light. Adam began explaining step by step. They would follow his rules. Every decision approved. Every move visible. No shortcuts. No excuses. The men listened. Sweat rolled down one temple. Another wiped his hands on his trousers. Adam watched closely. He noticed everything. The shaking knees, the forced nods, the tight jaws. He remembered shaking hands too, years ago, in a hallway that smelled of rust. He slid papers across the desk. The sound of paper moving made one man flinch. "Sign here," Adam said. The pen trembled as it was picked up. Ink touched paper. The signature looked uneven. The second followed, then the third. Each stroke felt heavier than the last. Adam gathered the papers. He placed them neatly into the folder. He closed it again. This time slower. Thunder cracked loud. The building shuddered slightly. Adam looked at the window. Water streamed down like tears. He turned back. He said this was only the beginning. Their faces fell. One asked how long this would last. Adam met his eyes. He said accountability had no deadline. Silence returned. The men shifted uncomfortably. Adam pressed a button on his desk. The door opened quietly. An assistant stepped in. Her shoes clicked softly. She did not look at the visitors. Adam gave instructions. Clear, short, professional. The assistant nodded and left. The door closed again. The men remained seated, waiting. Adam walked to the shelf behind him. Awards lined the wood. Glass reflected the room. He touched one lightly. Cold, solid. He remembered cold lockers, cold floors. He turned back slowly. He asked them why they chose him. One answered honestly. No one else would help. Adam nodded once. That answer satisfied him. Another admitted they never imagined this future. Adam almost smiled. Almost. The air felt tight again. Outside, sirens wailed faintly. The city kept moving. Inside, time felt slow. Adam told them they would stay for a while. They looked confused. He explained observation mattered. Trust required proximity. The men exchanged worried looks. Adam pointed to chairs near the wall. They moved without protest. Leather scraped stone. Adam returned to his desk. He opened his laptop. The screen glowed blue. Numbers scrolled. Names appeared. He typed calmly. The tapping sound filled the room. The men watched, their breathing uneven. Adam paused briefly, not from doubt, from memory. He remembered sitting still so trouble would pass. Now others waited. He controlled the pace. He spoke again. He asked them about their families. The question landed heavy. One hesitated, then answered. Voices softened. Adam listened without expression. He nodded occasionally. He stored every detail away. Rain continued to fall. The storm showed no sign of easing. Adam closed his laptop. He stood once more. The men looked up quickly. He told them this meeting was not over. It was simply changing form. Security footsteps approached outside. Heavy, controlled. The door opened again. 2 guards appeared. Tall, silent. Adam gave them a look. They understood. The men stood slowly. Fear showed clearly now. Adam walked past them toward the door. He paused with his hand on the frame. He looked back. His eyes were steady. He said the past never disappears. It only waits. The guards guided the men out gently. The hallway outside looked clean, bright, nothing like before. Adam remained inside, alone again. The room felt large now, too large. He returned to the window. Rain blurred the city lights. His reflection stared back, stronger, still marked. He placed a hand against the glass. Cold seeped into his palm. The storm continued. And as Adam stood there listening to the rain, feeling the weight of everything that had led to this moment, the echoes of old laughter mixed with the steady rhythm of thunder, and somewhere deep inside him, something unfinished stirred, waiting for what would come next as the consequences of this choice began to unfold beyond the walls of the office and into a future that refused to stay quiet. The rain finally slowed. The thunder moved farther away. Adam stood alone in the quiet office. The city lights blinked softly through the glass. His phone vibrated once. A confirmation message appeared. Everything was set in motion. Downstairs, the men waited. Their futures no longer belonged to them. Adam closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered the hallway, the locker, the torn notebook, the laughter. He opened his eyes again. The pain no longer ruled him. It no longer defined him. He had turned it into control, into power, into choice. Adam picked up his coat. The fabric felt heavy on his shoulders, real, earned. As he walked out, the office light shut down behind him. The door closed softly. No slam, no noise, just finality. Outside, the city kept breathing. Cars moved. People hurried past. No one noticed the men who once laughed, now trapped by the consequences of their own past. Adam stepped into the night. The air felt clean. For the first time in his life, he walked forward, without fear, without shame, without looking down, because some stories do not end with revenge, they end with justice. And this time, the boy who was bullied daily was the one who decided who would survive the future.